Eli Warren and Reagan Seville taking the green flag. We are racing here in 2:06 here. Warren with a great start. Seville on the outside. Fandry going to push Warren through. Still side by side in between Fandry and Seville. Fandry loses a spot to Robertson as well. And Fandry all the way back to P6 here as Cameron Reed now looking for a move there on the inside of Jerry Fandry. Can she get through? She has help from Sawyer Roussel. Fandry's going to point them by Roussel as well. So Fandry now back to P8 here, if I'm not mistaken, with Kelvin Zing behind him. It's Seville in second. Robertson in third, Frank up to P4, and Cameron Reed in P5.
Yeah, Fandry is kind of out to the wolves there on that back straightaway. Had no one behind him to help. Didn't have much of a tow. Lost momentum on the start. And now, as we see passing a little bit farther up there ahead of Fandry, I believe that's Chandler now going side by side with Robertson. And now it looks like another Kelvin Zing trying to make up one more to get around Robertson. And so now that's going to happen. And I'm telling you, I think that might be a good duo. Kelvin Zing and Fandry together. Fandry's fast, especially with Eli Warren. If he has somebody he can trust as a pushing partner, we know Kelvin Zing likes to play the long-term game here. So I think if those two can get nose to tail, that might be a deadly duo this weekend.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter it doesn't matter where Kelvin Zing finishes in the heat races. He always tends to show up here in the main event as Roussel looked for a move there on Kelvin Zing, just wasn't close enough. And Bryce Frank on the outside there of Cameron Reed going to slot right back in a line ahead of Jerry Fandry. Zing right behind Fandry goes through. Roussel looking to go through as well. And Fandry, who's in the grass. Jerry Fandry in the grass there for a second, who gets slowed way down and getting sent all the way outside of the top 10 for Jerry Fandry in the TB cart.
Yeah, and look, you can see Eli Warren's frustrated right now. Cameron Reed is up on the inside, and Eli Warren, he's not happy. He said, why are we racing right now? The top two are pulling away, and it's understandable his frustration right now. I mean, if they can settle in here, they will be okay. However, if they keep this up, the top two already have what appears to be about 8 or 9 cart lengths in front of them.
Closing down the gap to Robertson ahead. They are lapping a little bit quicker to Robertson and Seville, and I think Drew Chappell, the reigning champion, into the pits here. That's going to be it for Drew Chappell, who's out of the race here. And the fastest lap of the race now, Kelvin Zing, the 49.8.
I think Eli Warren's going to be content to stay where he's at. And no, here comes Reed. Reed has a look, and now Eli Warren, he's not too happy with it again. He's telling her to get back into line. Now she might be out for lunch. Up on the inside, and they still make it through somehow. Now there's going to be a position change. That's going to be Seville stuck on the inside. Crossover move. Robertson now is going to get cast to the wayside.
Robertson got sent to the wayside there. Was in the grass for just a second as Frank and Zing get ahead of him as well. And Cameron Reed goes to the point of the field ahead of Reagan Seville. She wants to lead side by side with Eli Warren as well. And Reed gives the point forward to Eli Warren, who's still stuck on the outside. Zing looking to get clear as well. Bryce Frank gets clear. So it's Reed from Seville to Frank.
They just have to just basically put their differences aside, try to work together. Franley right now is pushing hard in that front group, and they're still going back and forth up in the front half.
There goes Jerry Fandry down the inside on Jacob Oliver. The Raging Cajun, the hometown girl, Cameron Reed. She was over in Spain late last year for the Tilton T4 World Championship, and now she's here leading in her home track. There's Jerry Fandry, Jacob Oliver, and Sawyer Roussel. Josie Chambers in there as well, and Samuel Young. All big Texas names that we've seen come out to play. Further up, Kelvin Zing, no idea what happened to him, but he has separated a little bit from the pack as Seville and Frank going side by side. Robertson going down the inside on Frank. Robertson up to P4. Frank back to P5, and Kelvin Zing brought right back up in a play.
Jerry Fran and company, which I think he just got sent to the wayside there and is actually now falling back through the order. So unfortunate to see for Jerry Fran. I think it was stuck to the outside of that pass there into turn 3.
No idea what happened to Jerry Fandry. If you can take a look back, and there's a pass for the lead now. Eli Warren back to the point of the field. Reagan Seville to P2, and Bryce Frank down the inside on Braden Robertson. Zing trying to get the move done as well. Is going to be able to get it done and continue to push his teammate here, Eli Warren from Louisville, Kentucky. Back to the point of the field. Frank looking for a move on Reed. Side by side in between the two of them. Reed goes off the racetrack and into the grass. Cameron Reed, the Reed Motorsports driver, was into the grass. A little bit of a hip check there. Yeah, unfortunate there for Cameron Reed. I think she was trying to hold on around the outside when Bryce Frank looked for a move. And Reagan Seville now to the point of the field. Frank looked to go through as well. Just wasn't close enough for Bryce Frank. And Reagan Seville, the rookie, back to the point of the field. And Eli Warren not going to let that slide. Back to the point of the field for the Louisville, Kentucky negative. Up ahead is still Warren, Seville, Frank, Zing. As there goes Seville down the inside. Frank gets through as well. Zing trying to go through, and Eli Warren off the racetrack. Kelvin Zing gets slowed way down as he almost caught up in a wreck with Eli Warren. So Zing now in no man's land, and now it's Bryce Frank and Reagan Seville down the inside. There goes Braden Robertson on Eli Warren, and this could be a two-horse race if Frank and Seville push further and further ahead of the field. Dicey indeed. Robertson now. Welcome to the party. Braden Robertson and Eli Warren now in tow with Bryce Frank and Reagan Seville. The last time by for Braden Robertson, a 49.584, the fastest lap of the race so far. And the Burrell Art, oh, there goes Eli Warren down the inside on Braden Robertson. Warren trying to get clear, and he will. Eli Warren now up to P3. Is he going to look for a move here on Bryce Frank, or he's going to stay put? Looks like he's going to stay put here for now, going into turn number 3 with just over a minute to go here.
So all connected, and I think they got enough breathing room between, I think that is Robertson.
Oh, there goes Frank to the lead.
Frank goes around into the front, so now Seville moves back one position. Eli Warren's still there, so I think that's going to be the top 4 here. I think Reed and Zing so far out over there, still side by side. Warren up for second. Oh, that was
Seville stuck on the outside. Reagan Seville stuck on the outside. Now it's side by side in between Braden Robertson and Reagan Seville, and for the first time this weekend, Bryce Frank, the number 2, after many years in the 206 class, hasn't been able to get a championship yet in the Texas Spin Racing Series, and is looking to change that here this year as Warren now goes down the inside, trying to deny that. Eli Warren down the inside. Frank stuck on the outside and gets bobbled there as he drops the tire into the grass. Time is up. 2 laps to go in this race. This is it for your 206 seniors, presented by Slipstream Racing. Eli Warren at the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to get left out to dry as Reagan Seville going to push Braden Robertson through. Frank there as well. Who is it going to be out of turn number 3? Braden Robertson, your new leader here. Eli Warren a P2, Reagan Seville P3, and Bryce Frank back to P4.
And Eli Warren went there on the defensive there with the 647 of Robertson leading the way into the final corner.
Oh,
a
wow.
little aggressive there from Eli Warren. Gave him the boot going in the final corner. This time across. White flag in the air. 1 to go, and they're going to pinch. It looks like Seville all the way down to the grass. He's got 2 wheels into it, and now they're going to fan back up. Seville up to the point for the moment. Eli Warren in the grass.
Eli Warren into the grass, and Cameron Reed and Kelvin Zing have joined the party and have a handful of momentum in their go-karts. Reagan Seville goes lower than Braden Robertson. Seville looking to go to the point of the field. It's a 5-6 kart battle for the lead of the race. Robertson around the outside, back to the point. Seville in P2, Bryce Frank right back up to P3. Cameron Reed and Kelvin Zing have joined the party. It's 5 karts after Eli Warren was sent off to the grass. 3 corners to go left in this race. It's Braden Robertson. Reagan Seville, is he going to look for a move down the inside into turn number 9? Reagan Seville gets it done. Back to the point. Kelvin Zing pushing his teammate forward. Bryce Frank now ahead by inches. Who is it going to be? Turn number 11. Seville still ahead. Robertson, a battle to the line. It's going to be Reagan Seville with the win. The rookie wins 206 senior. Reagan Seville for the first time in senior